The film Psychokinesis is a high-concept, well-made film that blends several genres: action, fantasy, comedy, and drama. It tells the story of an ordinary, deadbeat father, Shin Seok-yeon, who gains the power of telekinesis. At the same time, Seok-yeon is reunited with his estranged daughter Rumi after his ex-wife is killed during an altercation with a gang of demolition thugs who were hired to evict Rumi and her mother from their fried chicken shop. Here is the trailer.
야, 너 치킨집 그런 거 아빠가 다른 데다 차려줄게. 너 대학도 가고 공부도 해야지. 아빠가 좀 이상한 능력이 생겨서.
뭐 하시는 거예요?
이제 루미 아버지만 있으면은 걱정할 거 없는 거 아니에요?
당연하지.
초능력 아저씨, 진짜 능력을 가진 사람들은 처음부터 이기도록 태어난 사람들 거라고요.
루미야. 저도 껴주세요. 껴주세요.
Although Marvel-type superhero films are popular in South Korea, there have not been many domestic films centered around a superhero origin story, making Psychokinesis a unique venture for the Korean cinematic industry. Traditional superhero origin films usually center around a hero learning to use and develop his or her powers to ultimately save the world from a cataclysmic event. Psychokinesis takes a different approach to the traditional superhero film. The film's hero, Yoo Seok-yeon, immediately masters his powers, and his character arc is driven by his efforts to repair his relationship with his daughter. Additionally, the central conflict is the fight between a small group of residents against a corporation's violent efforts to evict them from their mixed commercial and residential building, providing an interesting departure from the usual superhero tropes. Yoo Sung-young plays the main character Shin Seok-yeon. He is the first actor to have starred in 4 10 million movies: The Admiral, Miracle in Cell No. 7, Extreme Job, and Masquerade, breaking the record of the great Song Kang-ho, who has starred in 3. Shin Eun-kyung plays Seok-yeon's daughter Rumi, who is fighting to save her fried chicken business from eviction. Shim is notable for her work on the film Miss Granny. She has previously worked with Psychokinesis director Yeon Sang-ho on both Seoul Station and Train to Busan. Park Jung-min plays Kim Jung-hyun, a young lawyer who is working with Rumi and other local shop owners in their legal fight against the Taesan Construction Company. Park also starred in The Bleak Night, The King, Time to Hunt, and Keys to My Heart. Chung Yoo-mi plays Director Hong, the owner of Taesan Construction. You may recognize her from her starring role on Train to Busan, in which she plays the pregnant Sun-kyung. Before he directed Train to Busan, Yeon Sang-ho was known for his animated works. He wrote and directed The King of Pigs, which explored the themes of bullying and poverty. It screened at the 2012 Cannes Film Festival to critical acclaim. His next animation, The Fake, was about a pastor who arrives at a rural town and exploits its residents, exploring the theme of institutionalized religion. Yeon's first live-action film, Train to Busan, was a commercial and critical success when it released in 2016. Domestically, the film gained the distinction of becoming a 10 million film and was well received at international film festivals, winning various awards as well as international distribution. Yeon's next project, Seoul Station, is the prequel to Train to Busan and provides the backstory on how the zombie outbreak began. Yeon's second live-action film, Psychokinesis, was inspired by real-life events that took place in the Yongsan district in 2009. Before elaborating further, I will mention that Yeon's most recent film, Peninsula, was released in 2020 as a sequel to Train to Busan. On January 20th, 2009, In the early hours before sunrise, police commandos and hired security guards launched an attack on 30 residents protesting the redevelopment of a building in Yongsan. The residents were violently brutalized, and a fire resulted in the building, claiming the lives of 5 residents and a police officer. While eviction laws were revised, relatives of the victims continue to seek justice from the government in holding accountable the responsible parties. In Psychokinesis, the film presented a reimagined version of real-life events and visually referenced imagery from the Yongsan disaster. I'm going to juxtapose the photos from the previous slide with stills from the film. The container scene in this news photo was replicated in the film for its climactic scene. Other parallels included the use of excessive force by the police, use of the mob-like contractors called yangyuk, attempted evictions occurring in the middle of the night, and a confrontation culminating in a fire. In both the film and in real life, the developers' plans were delayed for many years, which highlighted the pointlessness of evicting their residents with such alacrity and violence. When news first broke that director Yun Sang-ho was developing Psychokinesis, audiences eagerly anticipated a well-made domestic superhero film. The budget was over $9 million, and the success of Train to Busan made audiences eager to see Yun's next film. The film debuted to the #1 slot in its opening weekend, but ticket sales dropped 94% the following week. Although critics gave positive reviews, audience reviews were decidedly negative. The trailer did not reveal the film's depiction of the Yongsan events, and audiences felt blindsided when watching the film, leaving many angered by the film's use of comedy to depict the tragic events. The film failed to break even at the box office, bringing in just under $7 million. Netflix purchased the international distribution rights to Psychokinesis as a package along with 2 other films, Steel Rain and The Chase. Audiences and critics from around the world had generally positive reviews for the film, with The Hollywood Reporter calling the film the superhero film of the summer. So what happened? Let's take a look at what went right. The film had a lot of buzz, and audiences were excited to see a domestic superhero film. The film had a high budget, high concept, and utilized high-quality special effects. It also had fantastic performances by the cast, a well-paced script, and an entertaining plot anchored by cultural values. On the other hand, the trailer did not prepare audiences to realize the connection between the film's story and the Yongsan disaster. At the time of the film's release, families were still seeking justice for the victims of the events. While the other films depicting national traumas, such as division films like Shiri and Ode to My Father, were successful, they were also heartfelt dramas. Psychokinesis was a feel-good film, and audiences felt it made too light of the actual events, which did not have a happy ending for those involved. Although Psychokinesis was a box office flop, it provided valuable information to the Korean cinematic industry. Films about national traumas do not always resonate the right way with audiences, and filmmakers who choose to depict such events must be sensitive to how they present their story. However, it is a great movie, and I encourage you to give it a try to see what you think about it. I personally really enjoyed it. Psychokinesis is currently streaming on Netflix.